Greetings and good morning, friends. Welcome to a wonderful Wednesday. That's right. Pretty excited, actually. Going to be a big Wednesday. And lots of news out there. It was crazy. Last night, if you missed it, if you're a member of the channel, you had the opportunity to join us for a great watch party. We watched basketball. It was extraordinarily fun. We've got another one open to all members next month. This month, there are, I think, one or two more watch parties that you can join into if you're a gold member or higher. They're always a good time. It was a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys supporting that. But it is Wonderful Wednesday, the 12th of March. We are cooking through the month very quickly. We're about a month and a week away from a meetup in Las Vegas. So hopefully you get a chance to attend that if you want. We are, my goodness, about a week away from Snow White, which isn't doing well. If you get a chance right after this, go check out my video on Snow White being officially cooked. Disney has dropped support completely. Almost. Not completely, but almost. It's going to be very embarrassing for Disney. We've got so much more news today. I think we have 16 stories to get through today, and I'm going to keep pushing the limits on how much content I can create. So hopefully we get a chance to elevate that back up to maybe 3 videos a day or more. Music turned up a little bit here. And on that note, let's say hi to each and every one of you, or as many of you as we possibly can. We've got a lot of you being very generous early in the day. We got Weatherman over on the green machine, Magnify over there as well, along with B-Mo Betta and Ms. Pick Cafe. We've got, wow, lots of participation from the green machine. We've got Andy Masterson. He's very talented. He's a good dude. And let's see. There's the Weatherman with kicking in $2 saying, Culture, where the Culture Bear emoji? I'm working on it, man. I'm running into an export issue, so I'm going to have to, do it through Canva or something. I don't know. It's just not cooperating. I do want to say thank you to the amazing Ruby Hoo for 2 Culture Casino cash. Oh, wait. No. 2 Culture Casino cash from Weatherman. There we go. And Ruby Hoo. There it is. With the Culture Casino membership. Thank you very much for that. Look at all these great beings. I appreciate y'all being here. We got Kaladin 910 in the house. Jill is here, exercising her wrench, which is good. We like it. Wrenches are good. Last call is in the house with Troy Pacelli. What's up, Troy? Good to see you, buddy. Hope everything is going well. We got Istophobos out there. And there's our favorite polar bear. Hey, by the way, the bears are waking up. That's going to be the last story of the day. I'll get over there in just a few moments. Let's see who else is popping in. SFXF314 Sabertooth Raptors out there. Good to see you. Griffin says Coca-Cola was sold in bottles for the first time in Vicksburg, Mississippi, March 12th of 1894. Previously, it was only sold as fountain drinks. Over 50 billion bottles sold last year. Yeah, I'm telling you. I prefer the glass bottles. In fact, we all should. We should get back to glass, to be fair. To get away from aluminium and plastics. Plastics are not our friends. They are in limited amounts. But yeah. Oh, I just figured out that my volume was low. Thank you for that. You got to say thanks to all the people. Ruby Hoove, Weatherman, all that. Yeah, thank you. Just figured it out. Thank you for the $2 again, Weatherman. Much appreciated. Well, regardless, I'm just saying thanks. Okay, I was low. Ruby Hoove says, hello, lurking today. Have a great one. Thank you, Ruby Hoove, for 2 Culture Casino cash. You guys, I'm sorry it was so low. I don't know why it does that. I think being on sound issues. Thank you. You guys. It took me 5 minutes to figure that out. I don't know why. Morgan King's here. What's up? Frank's here. Adjust sound. I got to it. Thank you, JC. I don't know what's going on. It's terrible. Terrible. I want to say thank you for the gifted membership from Liberty Hall's Cat. And you know what? We've got to go, but fortunately we got bonus time. So I'll catch up with you in just a sec. Here we go. Can't believe it did that. Thanks again, Weatherman, and everybody else. This lovely morning plus bonus time. I got a couple things to talk about because I'm curious. House passes government. Doesn't mean the Senate's going to do it. And I have a feeling that a shutdown would benefit the government. We've already learned that much of what the government has been doing has been laundering money. So it would be nice to know where our money is going and or stopping the money that they spend. If we stop the money they spend, well, we're better off. At least that's what it looks like to me, considering we were giving our money away. That went right back into politicians' pockets. Crazy stuff. We got, let's see here. We got a Harry Potter star, Jessie Cave, joining the Lonely fans group, I guess, to try to post sensual hair videos. The lavender brown actor wants to get out of debt and fix up her home. What were they paying these people? Goodness, not nearly enough. That's for darn sure. You got the Princess and the Frog star, Anika Noni Rose, who speaks out about Disney Plus canceling the series that was going to be based on her character. Deeply disappointed, she says. But the question is, did anybody want it? Based on the attendance and the demand for the remake of Splash Mountain, I would say probably not. But there's that. I want to say thank you to Elisa, for the $5 super chat there. I will read that in just a moment. And Jason, I will get to this as well. And thank you. We've got, let's see, more. We got Billy Joel taking a time out. He's going to postpone some tour dates because he needs to recover from surgery. And hopefully he makes it back out on the road. Apparently, this is one of the only ways he's making money right now. And we've got plenty of music stories today. I will just say that Prince was correct about the musicians getting screwed by the labels. I'm not sure that's 100% true anymore with the direct-to-consumer market now. I'm sure there are people like Tom McDonald and others that are doing quite well, but maybe not. I don't know. I know Daredevil is not getting the reception it thought it would. The participation in viewership is not exactly spectacular, and it keeps killing off the characters that you love because they didn't want to pay for them, and they wanted to get away from the original things. They didn't like it's too. They allowed it to be violent, but they didn't want it to be full of white people. Not fans of white people, I guess. But they're teasing the return of a character, which you probably can already guess who that is, and it's going to have more bloody endings, not just the one it just had, by the way. This thing is not going well for Disney, and they already ordered and started production on season 2, so they're stuck with it. George Clinton files a lawsuit against ex-agent to claw back his music rights. Good for him. A lifetime of building a career and a catalog you should be able to benefit from your entire life. So good for him. Two different stories saying the same thing. Trump halts doubling of tariffs on Canadian metals because of the electricity threats that were being made on the other side. And the Ontario Premier backs down. By the way, this is the AP, so they're two-faced and they're writing two stories. A U.S. electricity hikes prompting Trump to halt doubling tariffs. You're getting real close to a different kind of confrontation, not just a trade war. U.S. factories likely to feel the pain from Trump's steel and aluminum tariffs, except that no, they probably aren't. we need to re-engage our industries here in the States, which is the whole point. Japan's economy grew at a 2.2% annual rate. Consumers held back spending, but hey, in the United States, the fake economists here would say that this is a solid number. It's not. Blizzard Entertainment president says there's a game for you, no matter what type of player you are. Ever since Blizzard, did what they did and decided to, bow down to a Me Too movement, they've done poorly. Activision Blizzard is not the same two companies it used to be. It's not even the same singular company it used to be. It is a Microsoft company, which means it's going to suck forever. And I'm not sure for how much longer World of Warcraft can hang out. The Yemen's Houthi rebels are saying they're going to attack any Israeli-based ship. So I guess it's on again. The U.S. agency that promotes weather or monitors weather, same thing, is going to cut another 1,000 jobs. Yikes. We've got EU chiefs saying member countries must use new defense loan to buy European. Well, good luck there. You guys are about a decade behind everywhere else. California lawmakers propose fixes to the insurance industry. I don't believe them. They're just going to try to take the money from somewhere else because that's what they do in California. Eventually, California is going to be so deficit-riddled, whatever, that they're essentially going to be looking for handouts from everybody. You cannot have that many social programs without the tax base to support it, which means you can't have all those illegal people without the tax base to support it. So you're basically putting yourself in a hole twice. Speaking of putting in a hole twice, I put myself in a hole. We need to jump into the bonus time to get to the bear story, which is, just kind of good news. We are at the time of year, at the point of the year where things change weather-wise. Things start to warm up around various parts of the country. And the temporary torpor that bears are put into, called hibernation, due to the cold weather above a certain elevation, a certain line, a visible line around the globe, those bears are waking up. That's right. And if we take a look at this story, you already have your first signs and your first warnings. Let's jump into this particular story from Michigan. The Detroit News says Michigan black bear cubs get early awakening. This is the time of the year where they stop monitoring the dens where the bears are resting, and they wind that process down. And they do little health checks here and there, especially for the little ones. Pretty soon, the animals will be roaming for food. The DNR shared pictures Monday on Facebook of a recent den check showing off very sleepy mom and 3 very out-of-it cubs. And here they are. 3 cubs, sleepy mom. So cute. Yeah. The female bear is carefully sedated when they are doing this, gently removed before biologists gather information and fit the animal with a collar, which includes GPS equipment. We can track them all. The cubs smell like wet, musky dogs. Well, I bet they do. You definitely want to keep your outdoor food temptations to a minimum and use bear-proof trash cans. This is the crew right here with mama and cubs. Pretty cute. Anyway, you're gonna start seeing more and more bears, I guess, in the high country. So just be aware. If you're in bear country, be berry awake. Anyway, I always love those. Let's get to the super chats and the things that I missed along the way. I want to say thank you for your support of the channel and of your tolerance for my ASMR version of myself this morning with the volume. Once again, Weatherman, thank you for your super duper chat. I'm working on that and wants to say thanks to Ruby Hoove, who gifted the membership to Psychotic Mongoose. Ruby Hoove followed up with a $2 super chat, wishing everybody a happy morning while lurking. And Weatherman says, your volume too low. The true story, bro. Sorry about that. Liberty Hall's Cat gives the Culture Casino membership to Cyber Zombie. All right, Cyber Zombie. And there's Alyssa1225 saying, Good Wednesday morning, Culture and Chat. Good morning to you, and thank you for the $5 in Culture Cash. We've got Jason Luoka. I hope I said that properly, for $2 or $1.99. Hail to the 199. The best casino to be on is Culture Casino. Thank you. Thank you very much. We got a new T-shirt coming out. I think it's going to be premiere. I think you can get it on the maybe able to get it on the store already. I don't know, but it will be available for direct purchase at the Vegas meetup coming up in just a few weeks, about a month from now. We've got SFX F314 Sabertooth Raptor for 5 Culture Casino Cash, saying when they start removing popular original characters in a show, it is time to turn it off and move on. No reason to continue as it falls apart. No, I'm with you 100%, especially on something like this. Crazy stuff. We got another super duper chat from Dean Krantz. Wow. Thank you, Dean, for 10 Culture Casino Cash, saying, speaking of a resident of Michigan and a veteran, hey, or speaking as, excuse me, sir, says Canadian government brings zero to the table. Doug Ford spends more time on his snow machine than caring about his people. Long story short, he sucks. Well, I've heard similar. Not really a good dude. Is this the guy that was busted for doing drugs? Is this the drug dealing dude or drug doing dude? I don't know. I know some of those Ford people up there in the north were doing drugs. Anyway, not a huge fan right now. I was awakened, the little story time here, by a tweet from one of my friends, and I looked at it, and I mean, at first it sounds like a lot of sense. The Canadian people aren't your enemy. No, they're not. But you know, points ring hollow when you talk about trade agreements. Trade agreements were put in place to mutually benefit all parties. The problem is that's not what actually happens. People don't often reflect on what the Canadian tariffs are placed on goods and why. Sometimes it's a little bit of a protectionist kind of a scheme, and it takes full advantage of the other country. And sometimes it's a purely profit taking. And when you look at the differential, and you can say disingenuously that 99% of goods traded across the border, I'm just going to use Canada as the example this time, don't suffer any tariffs. But it's that 1% of goods that are just enormous sums of money. And when it comes to poultry, meat, eggs, dairy, cheese, various alcohol, et cetera, the tariffs are incredibly one-sided. And whether that's protectionist or not, I don't know. But it's a conversation to be had when it comes to metals. Specifically, Canada went out of their way to replace the American industry, which is, one of the reasons why tariffs are going to land differently, so that America can be competitive. I love my Canadian supporters. I love the people that don't support me. I think it's great that we have had a very wonderful relationship between our northern and southern border friends. I mean, it's just been that way my entire lifetime for the most part. But we need participation when it comes to protecting the border, especially from the things that are just wrecking the populace here in the United States. We have people that are not really with it mentally, that are terrible drug addicts and very much out there to consume a terrifying drug. So we're seeing that an awful lot. Tariffs can also be used, and again, this is not with Canada or Mexico, but they can also be used to control trade imbalances, which is fair. The problem is that for decades, the United States has been taken advantage of in 1,000 different ways. At least that's what a lot of people think when it comes to the trade imbalance and trade deficits and things like that. So that's the argument for or against tariffs is a more nuanced one and more complex. You start to talk about tariffs, you realize that other countries are taking advantage of another country. It doesn't matter if it's the United States could not even be involved. It's just a matter of, well, we're going to tax your goods on the way in. If you do that with too much imbalance, somebody's terribly taken advantage of, and they don't like it. And that happens across borders all the time. If you're going to engage in trade, well, there's usually something to that. If another country can make a vehicle cheaper, vehicle manufacturing in the given country is going to move to the country where it's made cheaper. That's a terrible disservice to the local economy wherever it's coming from. And this has been happening for hundreds of years. So this isn't new, and it'll balance itself out if, some limited criteria is taken care of. Pretty easy. Help us secure the border between our countries so that we control the flow. We can control the flow of illicit materials and items. Who've gifted a Culture Casino membership? Thank you for that. Which means why it's so serious is here as a new member. Welcome. SG, what's up, stuttering guitarist? What's up, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Michigan started mining copper again. Massive deforestation going on. Going to be a problem. Depending upon how they go about it, my friend, again, this is one of the problems that we've had since we've got a bunch of tree huggers. It used to be green people were called tree huggers because they were just hugging the trees. Now they do more destructive things like light incredibly toxic vehicles on fire. Thanks for that. But if you do proper logging and if your clearing is done in a specific way for a specific reason, it's usually not as big a problem. I've lived near mining communities multiple times in my life, and I can tell you that when properly done, there's very little impact. And even in the high country where you have trees and things like that, if it's done properly, it's usually fine. But understood. Maybe it's not good to look at, but yeah, if you're doing it properly, if you're being a jerk about it, yes, that can be a real problem. Walter Tomazuski for $5 says, how long before Paramount's board sells the studio out from underneath Shari Redstone? Why is she foot dragging on this transaction? She sell and be done. Well, I don't think she's dragging anymore. It's not really her at this point. They are engaged in a deal to sell. They have some very unattractive financial situations at the moment. One of them is a $20 billion lawsuit that's going to hurt CBS substantially. The valuation, I think, for the company is sitting around $8 billion right now. It's not really worth $8 billion anymore, but hey, let's pretend. So their believe it or not, their network television, CBS specifically, is what's kind of going to cause this deal to stall. And if this were to proceed right now, even if all the green lights were lit, it's not going to preclude somebody from coming back later with that lawsuit and beating them into the ground. Somebody's going to be on the hook for this. And if they lose, and they lose the $220 billion, or if they have to make an enormous settlement, somebody's going to be on the hook for that. Who do you want to be on the hook for that? The Ellisons? I mean, Skydance, which is technically the Ellisons. Who do you want to be on the hook for that? Do you want Paramount on the hook for the potential there, or do you want Skydance or Paramount on the hook for that? I guess is the way to ask it. I don't think Shari is dragging her feet. She was dragging her feet years ago. This should have been done. I tell you what, the recombination of CBS Viacom never should have happened. That was the biggest problem, right? Had they not rejoined, they wouldn't have accumulated the kind of debt they had. The studio could have gone along its merry way and probably been in much better shape. And they wouldn't have lined themselves maybe with the petty criminals that are the J.J. Abrams sycophants that they brought in to destroy their most important property, which of course would be Trek. I don't know. I think CBS would have been better off, and I think that Viacom as Paramount would have been better off. Anyway, just my thoughts. 2 cents for $5 in culture cash. Thank you, my friend. I am with you, though. I think Sell and Be Done is a great idea, to be fair. Psychotic Mongoose gifted a Culture Casino membership. Thank you, my friend, and much appreciated. Good to see you again as Darren Bennett. Hey, what's up? Gets a membership. So thank you very much. That was cool as heck. We got a few member chats came in. I saw. I have to type the word celebrate so I can see those. Our buddy Nick the Greek in the house. What's up, Nick? Says culture isn't cub. What do you call your boyfriend? Oh, I love you, Nick. No, actually, I call him Nick the Greek. How's that? How's that, buddy? All right. Let's get to you guys in real time. So it's going to play catch up here. I agree with SFX of 314 Sabretooth Raptor. When you start removing popular characters, this bad. DL Fendel says, at this point, everybody trying to throw spanners in the works is just asking to be paid off. That's true. And that's specifically what's happening in the case of the Paramount Skydance deal. I agree with you. Yeah. And Weatherman, thank you for your day today. And I hope you're doing well. Crazy White Boy, good to see you, buddy. Sam's here. Sam's like they hedged their bets into oblivion. That's actually, Sam, that's a good analysis too. Everybody's on fire today. You guys are genius. I love it. Griffin says, already back to work. Oh, sorry, buddy. I'm glad that you were here, though. And remember, there is no one in the world exactly like you. And people can like you exactly as you are. Mr. Fred Rogers. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor. Could you be mine? Would you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you, so let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well stay. Could you be mine? Would you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Rumble gifties. Thank you, Weatherman, for the amazing gifties over there on the green machine. La machine. Member. I member. Amazing. What's really weird is that they don't actually have the notifications show up on the back end very easily over on EV Mux. Weather, man. I fixed the volume. Let's see. Trying to see who got. Razzie Fingers was gifted a membership by Weatherman. Thank you. Amazing. I love it. Trying to make sure. Let's see. Typical Disney bait and switch. That's exactly what's happening. Yeah, the tree pollen's crazy. I'm crazy. So Razzie Fingers and a Crazy White Boy were gifted memberships. Amazing. Two wonderful memberships. Thank you, Ms. Pick Cafe. You guys are incredible. All right. And yeah. Thank you very much, Weatherman. You are truly generous. All right. We've got a bonus time story to talk about. You know, I think sometimes agents are to blame. And there are some of you that work in Hollywood that know exactly what I'm talking about. Agents are responsible for getting you gigs, or at least they're supposed to be. They don't seem to do that. Sometimes you get yourself gigs, and your agent still takes their 10 or 15%, or whatever it is the deal is that you worked out with them. And really strangely now, studios are worried about people's social media. That's dumb. Because social media doesn't necessarily mean engagement in any way. People could, follow you, but they're not really paying attention to anything you say or do. Sorry about that. Apparently, still not getting enough sleep. But agents are supposed to help you, and they don't seem to. One of the things that I wanted to talk about today was that very fact. You have people like Daisy Ridley. Daisy Ridley just did a movie called The Cleaner or whatever, or Cleaner or whatever. It's about a window cleaner who somehow, despite their limited ability to move, apparently, at least observationally, if you look at what she's doing, it's just not believable throwing away large men and other things. Daisy Ridley's not an action star. The film was never going to be good. But then she's involved in another disaster movie, also not going to be good. And at some point, she's got to blame her agent because she was supposed to be able to trade on the idea of being in a Star Wars movie. And that doesn't seem to be working out very well, let's say. So if I were going to take a look at something like that or something like this, I'd be talking to my agent. Look, I need good roles. I'm swim in the English Channel. Great. Not going to make me a whole lot of money or get me to the next level as an actress. Same thing could be said for The Cleaner and this. We Bury the Dead. This was recently reviewed over on Variety. She leads an Australian disaster flick stuck in a zombie movie purgatory. And I think we can probably say zombies are over, at least for a little while. I mean, things cycle in, things cycle out in Hollywood. This is one of those things. When you look at the zombie movie genre, I'd say fans are over it. They might even be over superheroes, starting to look more and more like it. But this particular film may not have actually been a good vehicle for her. How did she get here? How did somebody who was in Star Wars, 3 Star Wars films, how did they not get to the top? Is it because she wasn't desirable to begin with? It was because the casting, because what she was doing is superficial, because she is now typecast. What is the reason here? Why is she taking these inferior projects? Is it because other projects aren't being offered to her? Is it because people don't take her seriously as an actress because she seems rather one-dimensional, especially in her performance in Star Wars? Can we blame that on Kathleen Kennedy? Can we blame it on the people responsible for making uneven films in the Star Wars series? What do you blame her lack of career on? Well, this isn't a very positive take on things. They do say positive stuff like making use of its minimal budget, We Bury the Dead, creates an immediate sense of scale and spectacle. starting with its central premise. In which, guess what? The bad guys of the United States accidentally deploys an experimental weapon of mass destruction off Australia's southern coast. The large-scale EMP caused up to 500,000 people to drop dead by shutting down their brains. That's super fun. Only for reasons unknown, for some of them to come back online, devoid of personality, but with their base instincts intact. Super exciting. So, regardless, this sounds like it could have been an interesting premise, but it isn't going to be very popular. The reviewer didn't really like it, and lots of things I've seen on it hasn't been great. But why? Why are these the projects she's getting? I'm just curious. I'm going to check the chat now. I just thought it was an interesting conversation because isn't she supposed to be a star? Isn't she supposed to be a star? Stuttering guitarist brings up a good point. Sylvester Stallone solved this whole problem by writing his own story. Yeah, I mean, you take a look at everything that he did or the adaptations that he did. They were projects that he did for himself and did a good job with them. So there's that. Hey, Admiral Teague's here. What's up, buddy? And so's Rogue Thinker. Zombies wouldn't be the most dangerous in Australia. That's true. There's way more things that want to kill you in Australia. Av, what's going on? Says not only does Daisy Ridley not look like an action star, she doesn't look like she's ever worked a regular job for one day in her life. I think that's probably true. I do. Donovan Bradford says while it might be an agent issue, it might be an issue of the performer, maybe doing something to somehow to someone on their way up, I guess. I mean, that still is kind of done in Hollywood, whether they want to admit it or not. This is a good statement. This presumes the actress knows what's good for them. That's a reach. Yeah, I guess you're right. That is a reach. Nick says, I think Daisy Ridley is a real disaster. Understood. Anne, how are you doing? Thanks for joining us last night. I hope you enjoyed yourself. We had a good time. Hope you did too. Says, woman window cleaner for buildings. LOL. Nope. Well, I mean, if you were going to break it down into percentage, you sure there's not 1% lady window cleaners? I don't know. Maybe. Hard to say. Yeah, exactly. Cleaner. DEI hard. DEI hard. Yeah, that's right. Very strange. Let's see. I'm sorry Weatherman doesn't feel good, but I want to say a big thank you in Weatherman's absence for the gifties of memberships and letting me know that I was not loud enough. Agents and image consultants are the modern enemy. I think so. As I scroll through your answer, I'm struck by the fact that it's nobody's arguing that she's a stellar actress that's being done dirty. We actually really do need a good mafia movie without De Niro. Please, that would be great. You're talking about the dream. We need new actors, right? I mean, honestly, and not the oh gosh, I can't say that. Not the softy soy boys that we've been getting lately. And the same thing with actresses. Actresses, you can be feminine. That's a good thing. Try and get a role that's feminine. Rom-coms are super fun and make money. I think the idea of making money is something Hollywood doesn't care about anymore. Caveat Ties says she's likable enough. It has to be bad projects. Even Star Wars was not that great. No, I'm with you, especially after the first one. I feel like the audience woke up 2 weeks later after seeing that for the first time and going, wow, that was A New Hope all over again with a little bit of different icing and a chick. I don't know. It's funny. By happenstance, I'm wearing the Last Jedi is Not Canon t-shirt today. I think you can still pick that up over on the Mixed Tees store for Midnight's Edge, but I could be wrong. DL Fendel. Maybe she's just boring, and her only appeal to audience was the Star Wars connection. Yeah. Or the Rainbow Connection. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of... I can't say that. Anyway. All right, I'll keep going. CC, I was just plugged by my Kindle to see the latest dystopian future novels and shown a dozen covers. Awesome. Dude, I always feel like my devices are listening to me. So like now I'm going to the extremes of leaving devices in other rooms. I always feel like somebody's watching me. I always feel like there's a reason I'm reminded of that song recently. Chad St. John. That's what happens when you don't rise based on merit. Yeah. Actually, that is the biggest and best explanation of what's going on out there right now. I would agree. I saw some supers come in. I'll get to them in a second. Cynthia says, Daisy has done quite a range of kinds of movies. For her sake, I hope she has good income from those Star Wars movies. At this point, I think she is just trying to be a working actress. Versus, you know what, Cynthia, that's also true. She's trying to be a working actress. I just wish she got better projects. I would like to see her do something, you know? I'm looking at Harrison Ford. Rose well above the role of Han Solo or Indiana Jones. He was able to play many other roles. Miss Fisher, Carrie Fisher, was able to play anything. Well, she was always going to be plugged into Hollywood. I mean, look at her mom. But she was genius in everything she was in. Still, to this day, Soap Dish is one of the films I will pull out and just laugh at. She's so good in that. Anything. Any and everything she was ever in, she was good. I don't know. Undead kangaroos. Yeah, that doesn't sound safe. Hey, what's up, Zombie Box? This guy's great. Love his channel. How you doing, Andy? Let's see. Chad's like maybe less than 1% of window cleaners are women. Okay. Oh, it's terribly dangerous. That job seems like no bueno. Like I am not into it. Like at any moment. Bye-bye. Oh, thank you. Istophobos. We need a new everything. That's true. Hey, Apollomes is here. Good to see you, dear. I don't know what happened. I mean, actually, I do know what happened, but I'm just saying. I mean, I would have thought the audience would have come around sooner to the insanity. Maybe it's just me. Staccato is here. What's up, buddy? And 99910 Culture Casino Cash says, instead of Canada charging tariffs on dairy, just set the prices U.S. dairy can sell their stuff for, so they can get the benefit of higher prices instead of Canada's government. That's a great idea. I think they're just trying to be protectionist because we can produce so much beef, we can produce so much dairy, we can produce so much stuff. We have them. And again, it's not I want there to be good trade between the U.S. and Canada. Same with Mexico. But there should be taking advantage There's one thing in making a profit, then there's taking advantage. It's like, charging, 10 times the amount of money for bread when there's a hurricane coming. You know what I mean? Just, that's not cool. Not cool. Pretty, but boring. Pretty boring. Oh, okay, sorry. Hey, Crimlon, thanks for being here. Sorry you got meetings all day. I hope your day is extraordinary, my friend, and I hope you were still there to hear when I get some rest. No kidding. Well, tonight is reset the clock day for me. I will be going to bed crazy early, but here's the cool thing. Today, you will not run out of material to watch because you've got Midnight's Edge in the morning. That's coming up here real quick right after this show. And then you will have that gameplay live with yours truly and the crew. That's right. We've got 6 to 8 stories to talk about, so we'll be able to easily fill the 2-hour window that we usually plan for. We usually go long. I'll be getting back to doing a couple of live game streams on that channel. And I might go back to my gaming channel. Who knows? Why not? I haven't done anything there in over a year. It's kind of the same thing, unfortunately, with the build channel. I really thought I could help people, but that channel just didn't catch on. How to repair drywall to save yourself money, how to how to check all your filters and everything, why you need to check your filters, preventative maintenance and things like that. Thought that would be helpful, but I kind of feel like the algorithm just destroys new channels. Rogue Thinker says, I walked out of the theater thinking, wow, that was a lame JJ version of a Star Wars, the movie. But I hated what he did to Star Trek and was ready. Well, you were better prepared than I was, Rogue Thinker. Man, dead. Hey, George is here. George Morales, what's up? Remember the first role was a dead cadaver, and she was also in Johnny Depp movie Murder on the Orient Express. I didn't know that. Where she played a drugged out countess. I don't even remember her in those roles. That's how much impact she had. And she played a cadaver. Well, I think she was topless in whatever that was. Why? I mean, I understand. I don't have a problem with a cadaver and toplessness or any of that. I'm like, you would think there'd be more there. Maybe the cadaver got her prepared for playing Rey in Star Wars. Daisy Ridley is not the Harrison Ford of the sequel. No, if there even is one, it's Adam Driver. Yes, he's gone on to do many other films. The biggest no-brainer in the world, as far as I'm concerned, is Adam Driver as Snape. Oof, that makes me want to vomit. Carrie Fisher was a legit funny person. She could compete with anybody, and she was funny. Her one-woman show, I think she did 2 of them. She's great. Are you kidding me? The lovers, the dreamers, and we. La 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 dee da dee la la. Carrie Fisher was an OG. That's true. Lucius Nature Triste says the problem with actors in general is that they have very little to work with. The well-written story is rare these days. You know what? This is truth. Creativity has been squelched by ideology. Yeah. You can still get good stories. You just have to make them have the outward superficial appearance of woke. They don't actually have to be woke. Kevin Costner played a corpse in The Big Chill. Man, I remember that. Average skyscraper window clearing technician hourly pay in the United States is approximately $23.23. Not nearly enough, man. Your life hangs in the balance, quite literally. I don't know. 89.4% of window cleaners are men, while 10.6% of window cleaners. Thank you, Istophobos. See, bringing the facts. Yeah, fresh off the fax machine. Ha! All right, kill me. All right. I really like Daisy in the Star Wars movies. Okay. She comes across as the good-looking girl next door. We need more of these in movies. Bombshells and badasses are not all women. Not what all women should aspire. I agree with you. Gosh, I'm trying to go through the list of people that I thought were amazing. I liked so one of the reasons I enjoyed the grittiness of the Battlestar Galactica remake with Ronald D. Moore at the helm of that was because the ladies were not like the knockouts. They weren't unattractive, but they weren't knockouts. These were, and they were incredible actresses. All the ladies in that show, the lady that played Boomer, Starbuck. I mean, if you go down the list of the ladies in that show, it's like, wow, they're gritty. They can act. I mean, show real emotion. They can be physical. Very much girl next door. That show was perfect. I loved it. Just brilliant. Oh no, $550 to fix your central heating? Goodness gracious, Pam. I'm so sorry. Now is that dollars or pounds, dear? Was it just more expedient to type the dollar sign? Because I know I believe you're in the UK. That's crazy though. Central heating. Eesh. Oh no, I definitely am spreading myself then. I'm going to stop doing that, I promise. I think Dragon Queen just sent a super chat. I need to there it is. Bye-bye. Dragon Queen, young and sweet. Thank you very much for the 20 Culture Casino cash. There you go. Says, "Aw, for that niece's popcorn bucket. I gotta find Marvin now. I wasn't here. Shh, you saw nothing." Okay. Well, I just made a big deal about you. But no, thank you, Dragon Queen. I wish I had cool like little clips and stuff that Pro plays. I'm gonna have to work on that. Someday I will be as cool as Pro. But yeah, no, thank you for that. That popcorn bucket's gonna be so much fun. I'm so excited. I think she'll love it. Yeah, and the buckets seem to be based on the original Snow White. If one good thing comes out of this film, it's going to be the popcorn bucket. So thank you very much, Dragon Queen. You are amazing. Man, I need a producer. Does anybody not work anymore that wants to produce you? Jin, what's going on, buddy? Jin Karaya says, I feel like humanity has peaked as far as storytelling. The fact that Hollywood can't adapt a written story with a world already built proves me right. I think you might be right. I mean, how about this? We need a talent switch in Hollywood. You one of the reasons that you were able to infiltrate Hollywood and destroy it so easily is because they were so corrupt to begin with. The casting couch didn't help. I mean, especially when the Me Too movement started to really get its claws in. So you had people of lower character in positions of power. That's a problem. you had you had people move up in the system at the lower levels and just kept headhunting the jobs above them by removing the heads. Some of those positions, you had readers that were handing out material that resonated with their ideology, not necessarily with the idea of a good film. So as you move all of that stuff into the positions of power, you move those people into the positions of power. That's how you get, well, you turn Hollywood back red. It's not hard. I mean, and one of the laws that's working against the folks in California right now is one that Gina and her legal team is taking advantage of, that was designed to protect people from being put on another list again, at least in California. I mean, they could be on many, many lists. You don't know, federal lists especially, but you weren't going to have that list again. You weren't going to be back on the blacklist based on your political affiliation, which at the time they were trying to prevent communism. I mean, there was a certain person that was absolutely right, McCarthy. So you start to talk about that. That's kind of how I see, or am seeing in retrospect, what was happening in Hollywood again. I mean, the argument has always been Hollywood's always been red, and maybe so. Maybe they've always been a little commie because their art is based on the fact that they have patrons that take care of everything. And support maybe that bit of subversion. Hollywood has always been a little bit subversive. I think one of the best persons to engage with about this would be Razor Fist. He's done a lot of videos about it. And he's 100% right. So you're right, Jen. CC is slowly booting up again. True story. True story. 425 pounds sterling. Oh, so you did that math in your head, dear? Holy cow. Yikes. Dude, are you an accountant? I need one of those. The one I got's retiring. Okay, what else is going on? Hey, Randall's here. He's one of my favorite Canadians. Love that guy. Hanging with Erica and Raph. Hope you're doing well, Erica. Having fun. Is this clean the house day? And says there's a lot of great stories that just won't tell them. Yeah. I mean, look, they've handed off an adaptation of C.S. Lewis's greatest work to a questionable human. Questionable. For her, Greta Gerwig, to work on. The Chronicles of Narnia by a non-believer? What? Stay in your lane, babe. Write corruptible women. That's your thing. Morally corrupt women is your thing, Greta Gerwig. That's what you need to stick to. Please. Yeah, there are multiple, Elisa, there are multiple different popcorn buckets now. They're multiple. It just depends on the theater group that you go to. So I'm not sure what your local theater group is, but yeah, there's a lot of them out there. All right, Mephisto, I may take you up on that, my friend, but you know, it would be great. I mean, I want to honor the all of my regulars here, all the great contributors, the people who really keep the lights on that I appreciate. Dragon Queen is supporting so many. Of course, I also want to honor my wrenches. My wrenches do amazing work for me, like Miss Pick Cafe and Tom and his various forms. But Staccato DDS and Big Daddy MRI, and you guys all mean the world to me. I have the best chat on YouTube. I'm very grateful. You guys are here every day, and whether or not you're a member or you send super chats or any of that stuff, your presence is important to me, and so much so that I'll miss you when you're not here. And I'll be like, start asking questions. Hey, have you seen Caveat Ties? Have you? You know. Oh, we have wood to cut after lunch. Here, just saw this live. Well, thank you. Oh, man, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of splitting wood. Good, healthy exercise right there. Walter Tomaszewski, one of the regulars here. Wouldn't miss Walter if he wasn't around. So I heard some news that AMC's are stuck with the unsold Taylor Swift merch. That doesn't surprise me. I haven't heard anything about it, but I'll go ask. I'm really good friends with a lot of. Oh, wow, I just made my camera go bonky. That's not good. I'm really good friends with a bunch of theater managers. So now, of course, and I'm wearing my Criticalist hat today. So watch it. But yeah, so for sure. Hey, there's John the Beagle Dad. What's going on? Look at this. Linda's being a greeter now too. I love y'all. You're great. And is this live? What's up, buddy? So good to see you. Says you may miss us, but your aim will get better. I love it. All right, brother. I'll give you some ideas. How about wrench stinger using Charlie Chaplin? Oh, that would be so great. Is that in the public domain now? If so, man, dude, that'd be amazing. As long as I don't get claimed for it, I don't really care. Oh, it's for bathroom remodeling. Oh, okay. I thought I'm thinking, well, gotta go split wood. Dragon Queen splitting wood. No. Bathroom remodeling is, there's okay. So the bathrooms are hit and miss because of if you're dealing with water damage or anything. It's always a pain in the butt. It's like, just build this right the first time and it wouldn't be a hot mess to fix. But Zombie Box says, I'll need to invite you as a guest once I launch ZBR cast. Sounds good. Me and John Yolden. Speaking of which, I haven't seen John in a couple days. Hope he's all right. All my friends in the UK, I'm constantly worried about you because your government is authoritarian tyrants now. And you're stuck with it. I don't know. I don't even know. You guys have like 4 more years of hell, I think. I'm not quite sure, but I think that's right. Yeah, bathrooms and kitchens are expensive remodels too. Indeed. Very much a pain. And again, if it's done poorly, like before I relocate, I've got a lot of work to do at this house to improve its value. I don't think I'm going to sell it, but we'll see. But it is going to take a lot of work to get it into the most modern version of itself so that it's easy either to tenant or to sell. And whoever gets this place is going to have multiple greenhouses that they're not going to have to do a whole lot to maintain if they elect to keep them, all of that. But like basically a food supply that they aren't going to have to do too much to get there, which either adds value or reduces it depending upon the person. If they don't want that kind of work, so be it. But goodness. Anyway, all right. Well, we've been going long enough. We've been here for an hour and 5 minutes at this point, and I would have gone longer with another story, but I think that was probably it. We do have a bunch of game stuff that just broke today. Pokemon Go, which has been rumored to be being sold, did at least the maker got acquired, and exactly by who it was rumored would do so. Got a bunch of updates to some patches and Marvel Rivals and some other things like that. So those are going to be some of the stories we cover on that Gameplay Live coming up here shortly, which I think is at, I want to say, well, check out that Gameplays. But I think it's 3 p.m., maybe 3 p.m. Eastern and noon Pacific. Anyway, check it out. and turn on notifications. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And if you are here for the first time or the 1,000th that you haven't subscribed here, please do so. It's really going to help. I've been losing subscribers that I know that are surprised to be lost, to be fair. So double check you're still subscribed. Turn on all the notifications on the notification bell. Comment down below. If you're watching this on the replay, you are #replaygame, gang, G-A-N-G, gang, not game. And so let me know that down below as well. #replay-gang. And any other comments that you have. Let me know what you think about female window washers and whether or not Daisy Ridley is the best action star you've ever seen. Next to, of course, Rachel Zegler, who won that award last year. I quit. Anyway, you guys the best. SFXF 314 Sabertooth Raptor says, years ago, my shower was messed up. The hot water was connected to the cold water, and the cold water was connected to the hot water. The previous owner of the family home was a plumber. Oh, no, really? Maybe they just preferred the reverse. I don't know. But on that note, you guys are all the best. Thanks for being here today. We will have a shorter show tomorrow as it's Thursday. And I'll be on WW Pro once again, hanging out over there. Very proud of what we're doing with that Park Place, not only on the website itself, but on the channel with the live show on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And there's more coming up, ever more. I feel like I'm going to start quoting the Raven, but I just want to say thank you for that SFXF 314 Sabertooth Raptor. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all. As always, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya for real. Awesome.